Okay, I am back, and I think we are right. We are ready. How are you all doing? It is your girl Kiana Williams, and thank you so much for joining me on my page, y'all. We are here talking about building life after trauma. And again, I want to thank you all, family, for joining me. This can be a big thing to do. How do I know? Because it's a big thing for me to do. So it's a big thing for you to be here just watching me, listening to me, because you are taking the first step. I can remember when I first started to build out the trauma, and y'all, it was a bit scary. Why was it scary? Because I was in a situation where I did not know what to do initially. I knew that I had to get out of that situation. I knew I had to start over. I knew I had to keep going. I knew that there was things that I needed to do, but I wasn't 100% sure on what exactly do I do after exiting an abusive relationship, right? After not just abusive relationship, after trauma, and that can be trauma of any ways, abusive relationship, to any toxic situations, and that's even leaving jobs, careers, friendships, family, and definitely relationships. So I want to get into those conversations about leaving after trauma. A lot of people talk about when you're in it, right? They tell you, oh, you should leave and all those good things, and they are right. Let's not get it twisted here. I'm not saying that they are not right, they are absolutely right. But who tells you what to do afterwards? Who gives you that insight? It's not easily found. And sometimes when you do find that ability to get that information on how to rebuild after trauma, sometimes you have to pay for it, and paying for getting help is definitely is valuable. But what if you don't have the funds? What if you're just leaving a situation where you're low on money or none at all, and your resources are very slim? You're trying to make it. You're trying to figure out, what do I do? How can I do it? Or if I'm even capable. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm here for. I'm here to give you that insight on ways that you can come out of that. So let me introduce myself. My name is Kiana Williams. I am a survivor. I am someone who has gotten through storms, and I am on the other side. But I do want to let you know this is a lifelong journey, and no worries, because your girl, Kiana, I'm here to stay with you the entire time. I know it gets tough, it gets scary, it gets complicated. And there's going to be some times where you feel so strong that you have it, and then there's going to be some days where you feel like, what am I doing? I just don't have it today. And that is okay, friend. That is okay. So let's get into it. Um, mm, this is a tough situation. Because why it's tough? Because I want to make sure I take care of you. Good care of you because I needed someone to take good care of me. There's baby steps, right? Though you're not a baby, we still need to take baby steps. And I want to take time with you, and I want to respect you. So I just want to let you know I am not a licensed professional. I'm here off life experiences. hmm Um, if you missed my previous video, check it out. I talked about a lot of my struggles so I can give you some insight. So you can get some insight on how I can talk to you about the right now. Okay. So survival is over. Let's start with that. You're no longer in survival mode. So that is something that you have to train your nervous system to do. The best way to do this, I've done it from what I've noticed, is just to take a deep breath And when I think about all the situations that I was in, I tell myself, sit in it, but you're not there anymore. You're no longer surviving. You're no longer trying to protect your life. You're no longer defending yourself. You no longer have to. Take a deep breath. I don't know how spiritual you are, but I truly am. And God has grounded me. I'm not speaking about having a relationship with church members. That's not what I'm talking about. Though I have nothing against that. I'm truly speaking about your relationship with God and God. This is going to take some time for you to have conversations with Him and just spend that time listening. Talk to Him and listen. You read your word and you spend time with Him. Stay anchored in God. That's what I can tell you. That's one of the things that's the key. You're no longer in survival mode. You went through that storm for a reason. You lived through that storm for a reason. Now it's time for you to come out. And one of the best things you have to do is calm yourself. Stay connected with God. You're now in a different space. You're no longer in that space where you're always defending you. Remember, you're no longer there. You're protected now. No more defending. You are protected. And you have to remember that. I remember, and I still do that right now. I have to remind myself that despite things are not always ideal, I'm not defending myself. I don't need to protect myself. I'm already protected. I'm no longer in that situation where I am afraid to speak. I'm no longer in that situation where I'm afraid to laugh, afraid to be myself, afraid to speak up, afraid to carry myself as I love myself. I no longer have to be pretend to be weak in order to make others strong. So you have to remind yourself that you're no longer in that space anymore. It's time for you to level up. As you ride an elevator, it goes up slowly. It just doesn't fly you up to from level 1 to 7. It's a slow pace. The door closes slowly. If you haven't already selected the floor, you select the floor, and it takes off slowly. You may feel a little jolt, but it's still moving slowly. Remember, slow and steady. This is the beginning of building, slow and steady, not the end of your story. It's just the end of the storm. Always remember that. In the building stage, just like building a foundation, I don't know if you all have ever noticed or seen a foundation being built. If not, check it out, find a video. I can remember when I got my first home, it was a modular home, and I was super excited because it was like that was something I had never experienced before. I had been a renter. I had lived my leases, except for my first lease, my first rental. I was fairly young. My very first house trade. It was a trailer that I had. I lived in that trailer maybe about anywhere between 4 and 7 months. I can't exactly remember. I was very young. I'm 42 now. But that was the first and only lease I did not live out. The remainder of my leases, I lived them out the year or even more. It transitioned to a month. But anyway, seeing that foundation being built was a beautiful thing. Where I witnessed, when it's just ground, and then when it started breaking ground, and then when they started sectioning out for the pillars and all the things, it took time. It was different parts that cons- there was different parts that came together that made the foundation. There was. There was different parts that came together that made the foundation. Yeah, I kind of went away. Sorry about that. There was different parts that made the foundation. The pillars, and then they poured the cement, and then they use different things to come together to make the foundation. But with all those parts, it made the foundation strong. And that's what's gonna have to be with you. Building takes time because there's different parts. There's gonna be some tough parts. There's gonna be some parts that move smoothly and sit right in place. But there's going to be some that's not. And it's okay because you're building now. You're building with peace, your safety, and your emotional stability. You're building with all of those things. And it takes time. But it doesn't, with the foundation, it's not quite strong until the foundation is complete. So it's okay, friend. You may not feel strong in the beginning, but you're still building. Remember that. You're in your building phase. Okay? Never forget that. I remember during the beginning part of my transition in building my life after my last trauma that was sufficient, that was like a huge storm, was departing from a domestic abusive relationship, marriage, and violence as well. It felt unfamiliar at times because, to be honest, I don't want to just say that part of my life was the only part I dealt with trauma. I had been dealing with trauma a very long time in my life. And I had to realize that my nervous system was connected to trauma. Growing up, though I don't remember it, my parents, my mother and father, my father was abusive to my separation with my parents. I went to stay with my grandparents. I dealt with being sexually abused, being physically abused, not receiving any love, any hugs, anyone to tell me that they love me. That my life had consist of trauma. And when I got to an adult age, I felt like, you know what, I'm not going to deal with that anymore. Actually, I was putting myself there because it was hard for me, nearly impossible for me to recognize what I needed to have because I never had it. I chose something that was a disguise from what I had. I knew that, okay, this is what I'm not going to choose because the marriage that I was in, the relationship, because I still, before I even got married, I want to keep it real, I was dealing with abuse. I hadn't dealt with that kind of abuse before in my life myself. But because a lot of things in that relationship didn't look familiar like my past, I said, okay, well, maybe this will get better. And this is just a small portion because that person had these wonderful traits about them, what I thought. And the people around, I thought also um, was different. But we have to realize things. If you don't get the help you need, you can, and most likely you will, continue to make the same mistakes. Going into different relationships, as you know, as they say, you start dating the same people, same spirit in different people. So you date people that's dressed up, same people that's dressed differently. So I had to change that. I wanted to. There was no way I was going to continue to repeat the same actions over and over again. So I got some serious help. I took a leave of absence from dating, cut it all. I decided I wasn't going to date anymore. So what I'm saying is that you have to be just that determined to know that you need some help. You have to be that determined to know that you're going to get some help. You are going to be in a better state and you're going to do the work because you deserve it. And that's how it was. I knew I had to do some work because I deserved it. Um, 2022, I got divorced. It's 2026 now. I dated one person, maybe about 3 months. Have I went on dates? Absolutely. But I have not been in a relationship since I got divorced in 22, but I was separated in 2021. So let's make that clear. 2021 to 2026, I've only dated one person about 3 months. That relationship did not last because I seen something in this person that was not healthy for me. Could I continue to date them? Absolutely, I could. There was no need for that because I saw something that I did not like, and I decided that, you know what, at the end of the day, this has to stop. So you will get to that point, but it took time for me. You see all those years that I gave you, 21 to 26, and now 2026, I am definitely ready to date, but I'm in a better space, and I can understand where to put certain people. Okay, and you will get there too with time. Don't focus on, oh, I'm going to be by myself or all those things, or no one's going to love me, or, am I going to find the right one? Focus on you first. You are the factor. I know you may have never been that factor, but you are. You are the main character. And I want you to remember that. And with that main character, it's time for you to give that main character the attention. The main character never loses its place. Have you ever watched a movie and the main character was no longer the main character? Right. So you will always be the main character in your story. Remember that. So don't rush. You're not behind. I don't care. I'm 42 years old, 42 and happy. If you're 22, 32, 42, 72, 62, 82, it doesn't matter. Don't rush. You have time and you deserve it. Take deep breaths. I'm getting chills up my spine right now because I'm just super excited to know about the journey that's ahead of you. I understand how you feel. I did feel that way too. But I can tell you right now, on this day, March the 29th, I wouldn't change a thing because my life helped build me, helped sculpt me, shape me. And it will for you too. So I want you to remember this. You're not just healing. You're just not healing. You are building. You are building something so great. A foundation that's so strong, it will not break. You've already been broken to be rebuilt. God doesn't play about you. And that's why you're still here. I want to say this because I've been there. I understand at times you feel like, well, God loves me and I'm his child. Why did he allow all these things? Why did he allow all these things to happen to me? I can tell you why he allowed all those things to happen and you to still live through them, because he has a greater calling for you. He has a greater place for you. He has something amazing for you, my friend, my family. Though you may not see it yet, but he does. Quickly. This makes me think about the book of Job, where the devil and the Lord, our Almighty God, had a conversation, and God had just that much confidence in Job. He knew that it was nothing. God had so much confidence in Job that he knew that there was nothing that the devil could do to turn Job away. He even gave the Lord even gave the devil allowance, but he also gave him a method of governing. He stated that what you cannot do. You can do such things, but you cannot take his life. So the devil intentions was to prove him wrong. So despite of the things that you went through and you felt like God wasn't there, God knew that who he made you to be. The creator, the Bible says that I knew you before you was formed in your mother's womb. So the Lord knew who you were, my child. My friend, my family, Kiana, you, us, he knew who we were. He knew that we were fully equipped because he created us. So it was nothing that the devil could do. So you have been through hell and high waters, but yet you stand and you will continue to do so, my friend. So we're going to do the work. How? We're going to take time. We're going to breathe. We're going to focus on us right now and tell the future that you're coming and tell the past, thank you. This is a forgiving process. This is a forgiving process. You're going to forgive you. You did the best that you could with what you had. My therapist definitely tells me that all the time. Kiana, you did the best that you did. You did the best that you could do with what you had. If you knew what you knew now, you wouldn't have done what you did back then. That is 100% correct. Same to you. You did the best that you can do. Now give yourself some grace. And let's pick our stuff up because there's something somewhere for us to go. So I will see you all again on Wednesday for building your life after trauma. Okay? So I want to thank you again for your time. I enjoyed you all. I enjoy pouring into y'all. I'm going to have my camera in a better state when I see you all Wednesday. Okay? Thank you guys.